Right, the third film, and as you can probably tell by my introductions, I don't go into this sort of arty-farty stuff. It's what I like. Is it worth watching? Um, and that's how I prefer things to be. I don't like to go the arty-farty route, although there will be some sort of arty-farty references a bit later on in some of the other stories because they just need it. The third film is The Eye, the original Pang Brothers version from 2002. It has a basis from two stories that that one or both of the Pang brothers read at some point in the newspapers, and they've spun a fantastic supernatural tale around it. It's a young lady who's had has been blind since a young age, if she's ever had sight at all. I can't remember exactly because I haven't seen the film in quite a long time, which is why I chose it as well. But she then starts seeing ghosts, and even her own reflection isn't hers. It's of the person who was the donor of the corneal grafts, I think it was. It's just fantastic. There's a bit of a tragic sentiment that runs through it, but it's also spooky because how spooky would it be if the reflection in the mirror isn't you? And the only reason she finds out is because she sees a picture of herself and she doesn't know it's her until she's told, that's you. It's got some very good performances. Again, all these films have very good performances. Again, that's another reason why I chose them. The Eye is the first of the sort of Asian horror films that I saw that actually used any amount of CGI. It doesn't detract from the story. There are legitimate reasons for using it other than just we could use CGI. We've got a computer and we can do it. So there is a good reason, but most of it is not CGI. It's good acting. You get to see some wonderful scenery in some of the places. You get to see some quite squalid places as well. That doesn't mean to say that we should belittle the people who live in those places. We should think how lucky we are to live in the countries that we do, and we don't live in some of the squalid conditions that some of the people in the film live in. But ultimately, it's a good sort of ghost story. And horror doesn't have to be gore. Horror can be psychological, it can be very mundane in a way. In fact, some of the scariest, I don't scare easily, so some of the things that I've seen in movies are the most mundane things that scare me, and that's a table that I don't remember moves by itself, which is something that comes up in John Carpenter's film Prince of Darkness. I keep forgetting, because it's so mundane, I keep forgetting it happens, so it startles me. The Eye is very much in the supernatural, spooky story range. It's still horror because, as I said a minute ago, how unsettling would it be to find out that the reflection in a mirror isn't your reflection, it's somebody else. And that has a horror all to itself. So, although this is a horror fest, it's not all going to be blood and gore and stuff like that. And that's why I chose Legend of Hell House. That's why I chose The Eye, because it doesn't all have to be gore. It doesn't have to be zombies, vampires, or anything like that. It can be something quite um, not not mundane, because I mean this is involving ghosts, but it can be quite a soft horror rather than a full-on gore fest. So if you can't see it tonight, I hope you do get a chance to see it at some point, because it is a brilliant film.